upset right now. The reason I'm upset is because we got 4 young ladies that have been murdered within the last week here off of 85th and Prospect. We got a serial killer again, and ain't nobody saying nothing. The media's not covering it. We got 3 young ladies that are missing. Ain't nobody saying a word. What is the problem? Why can't we get some cooperation? Where's our community leaders? Where's our activists? Where's our public officials? Where's our police department? Where is those folks at? In President Gardens. Come on now. We need to start knocking doors. We need to start making sure that this is brought to the light. We cannot continue to let this happen.
It was back in September. Bishop Tony Caldwell is a community leader there in the Kansas City area, trying to bring attention to multiple black women that turned up missing, many times not being seen from a particular area. He was trying to bring attention to the Kansas City police in the area. And we're gonna see what the response was and actually what ended up happening, because the culprit that was suspected of potentially doing this stuff was caught. But the way he was caught was that one of his victims escaped and told her horrific story. So trigger warning here for anyone that she was assaulted here. And her story is this. A Missouri woman was held captive in a basement room for about a month, and she was raped repeatedly before she was able to escape. That's according to charging documents filed on Tuesday. The suspect, 39-year-old Timothy M. Hazlitt of Excelsior Springs, Missouri, was arrested on Friday and appeared in court by video Tuesday from the Clay County Jail. Here's a picture of this guy. Timothy Hazlitt, 39 years old. The victim was found early Friday wearing latex lingerie and a metal collar with what appeared to be a padlock on the front. That's what the Kansas City Star reported. The woman told police that she had been picked up in early September, then taken to a home and kept in a small room in the suspect's basement. He kept her restrained in handcuffs on her wrists and ankles. She was able to get free when he took his child to school. The probable cause said all this. The probable cause statement said all this. The woman told police that Hazlitt whipped and raped her frequently. And the Star also reported that since Hazlitt's arrest, police have carried large bags of evidence from the ranch-style home, and they've used a cadaver dog, which can track the missing or the dead, to examine the yard and Hazlitt's truck. Here's where it all was a problem up until this final reveal, where this woman, she knocked on a couple doors, could barely speak. She had lost tons of weight, was looking at death, and was still afraid once someone who was looking to help her decided to call the police, because she said he's gonna kill me if he finds out that I've escaped and that I'm looking for help. It's a terrifying story. So this is what the police were doing in the up until this point. In mid to late September, the Kansas City Defender published a video of Bishop Tony Caldwell, which we just saw, who's a local Kansas City community leader, and he was one of the many voices in the Black Kansas City community who made reports of numerous murdered and missing Black women. In the video, Caldwell specifically identified that the women who were missing were being taken from an area on Prospect Avenue in Kansas City. The Kansas City Police Department made a statement addressing the community testimonies and called them, quote, completely unfounded rumors, and they dismissed the concerns. Local news outlets followed suit, and in essence, they silenced any ongoing community voices which maintained concern for the missing women. This is what the Kansas City Police said in a statement in response after people were upset about there was outcry from the community over something to be done about this. They said, we are aware of the social media posts circulating regarding the murder of 4 women in Kansas City, Missouri in the past week at the hands of a, quote, serial killer, and the report of 3 additional women missing. We want to make the public aware that this claim is completely unfounded. There's no basis to support this rumor, they called it. And furthermore, we notify the media anytime we respond to a homicide. There's a daily homicide analysis, which is also posted on our website. There's been 1 female homicide victim in the last 6 weeks, which occurred, and they mentioned where it was. So now that the woman then came out and was found, and all these things that people were saying are potentially happening that they wish the police department would investigate. Now, as Bishop Caldwell pointed out in this one more video here, they're not having much communication with them anymore. Let's watch this.
I wondered, what is your communication been with police since then?
None. Zero, zilch. They are backtracking as much as they can now. I have a few friends at the police department that are reaching out, telling me good job, don't give up. At the same time point that this young lady was taken off of Prospect was the same time point we were looking for those young ladies, and she being one of them. They tried to, so far, saying that there was never no missing women. There was all a hoax. No one died. No one's missing. No one's being taken off a Prospect.
So Jessica, the police defense later on, they said that they didn't get an official missing persons reports from anyone. So therefore, why would we do anything? Yet, if someone calls and says, there's someone that drove in front of my house 2 times, can you guys come out and arrest them? They scurry really fast out that way.
Right, there's so much going on here. The racial dynamics are very clear, right? The victims, overwhelmingly Black women. The serial killer or alleged serial killer is a white guy. Listen, we need proper mental health care in this country because so often people who become serial killers, people in their life who have been exposed to them in school or in the community or otherwise know that there's something off about them. There's no one you can reach out to and say, hey, can you intervene? This guy seems like he really is sick and needs some help. There's no room for that. And our police budgets are insane. Those dollars can be allocated towards places for mental health care, places to investigate people before they get to the point where they're committing crimes and becoming serial killers. The police, it's been upheld by the Supreme Court, do not prevent crimes. They're not protecting us. They criminalize behavior after the behavior's been done. And when you have Black people just existing in their neighborhoods, you have over policing, you have the police arresting them when crimes haven't been committed. But here in this case, when the victims are Black and the perpetrator is white, the police aren't even investigating. It's just so clear who they serve. And when you ask people, should we reallocate some of the police budget so that we can investigate these things and invest in community safety? They say yes. Polling shows about 70% plus people support when the defunding the police, when you frame the question in that way and you don't say defunding the police. And so I think, yeah, a lot has to change, but it's very clear that only we protect us. And this is happening when the Jeffrey Dahmer documentary is on Netflix, causing a lot of controversy. Same situation. White guy who's a serial killer. Many people knew he was sick from a very early age. Most of the victims were Black. The neighbor that he had was calling the police nonstop, and they never investigated.
There's a reason why sometimes people may choose certain victims because they figure society or even authorities won't do that much towards that type of recovery of the person or investigation into the person. It's society based. So the way that people always like to say, crime deterrent, crime deterrent, crime deterrent, whenever you openly don't follow the crime or at least investigate or try and find out where these folks are, or maybe why someone is giving you these hints and tips, then they'll go, oh yeah, I knew the police would react this way. That's why I did it. So is that protecting the community or is that protecting what the part of the community that you choose to protect? Who do you work for? Because everybody pays their salaries. Just saying. It's frustrating. And by the way, the woman who escaped and showed up at folks' doors, she said, I made it out alive. He's already killed a few of my friends. Just to go ahead and put the cherry on top of that whole thing that they weren't paying attention to. We'll see. Well, actually, we won't see. They won't do much more of this. But an independent outlet had to be the one to help bust this, that gave Bishop Caldwell then that platform to talk about what he's talking about. Not major outlets, not local outlets. They follow what the police said, which is their norm.